Elroy is the sort of person to search Google for Facebook as his primary means of navigating to Isla de Zuckerberg.
Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up if you want. Today we're diving back into r/Tales of Neckbeards. It might be Neckbeard Stories. It actually comes from my personal subreddit r/ReddX Reads. It was posted quite a few places though, including r/D&D Doge, which I had no idea that was a thing that existed. So maybe I should reach out to him and be like, hey bro, you want to share some exclusive stories, making them not exclusive and thereby defeating the point sort of, but whatever. There's enough room on YouTube for everybody to live their dream, isn't there? I'm not even mad. I'm not even jealous or anything like that. I promise. Swearsies, again, it is just a fact, probably. Maybe even science. Oh, we're jumping back into the Star Wars Shenanigans today. It actually performed really well. The first video went up and I was pretty shocked. It is a good replacement for Linkbeard, I do think. So we didn't get to meet the beard, the true beard, the last time around, but hopefully that will be remedied today. And I guess we'll just get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, dive on into some Neckbeard stories cringe, and see what we got. Hey, also, one more thing. Check out them podcasts. Hey, thanks. Star Wars Shenanigans, Episode 2, Attack of the Lone. Tabletop gaming gone wrong. See, is a Clone Wars reference, right? Attack of the Clones. All right, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I watched all the Star Wars movie. Of course, this gets kind of more into deep lore, which I get lost in, but maybe not forever. Maybe this will ignite a passion that I wasn't aware I wanted to delve into as deeply. Anyways, welcome back, user the Irish Pirate 18. In hindsight, I really should have named Part 1, Episode 4, A Noob's Hope. Oh well. Hindsight's 2020 and all that, but part 1 being part 4 is kind of confusing, no? I think the way you did it is perfect. That's fine. Also, I forgot to put Force User into the title. It should have been Attack of the Lone Force User. But much like a skydiver discovering that his chute is defective, it's too late now. Yes, Reddit's greatest weakness. You cannot edit titles. At least they have an edit button. It's not like Twitter, where I actually have to delete the whole thing and start all over. But yes, ReddX liked my first story enough to take it to the big show. That's his YouTube channel. I mean, it's an upper, medium, small size show, I guess. But I do appreciate that. So I am nipping and tucking the second part to get ready for its close-up. Yeah, it is significantly shorter, I will say that. Last one was like 20-minute read time, this one's 13, so that is almost cut in half. But I'll still stretch the hell out of it by talking a whole heck of a lot, because I can't seem to help myself these days. Of course, we got the link to part 1 right there, and it is also in the comments and description if I did it correctly. Sometimes I don't. The TLDR version of it is that a player with zero tabletop, or really even human interaction experience, joined our game and tried to sell our characters out to the Empire, only to realize the error of his ways and to make a new character to give co-op gaming a second chance. I ended the last installment by saying the problems that we had with him were mild compared to what we would deal with later. A person that saw himself as the one true main character of the campaign. Yeah, we had Hal, and he was inexperienced, you know? He's not really that guy because he doesn't know any better. But this guy that's coming in, yeah, he's that guy for sure. I'm talking to OP on Discord about this stuff, and he still has quite a bit of vitriol pent up for this beard. So I guess we'll see just how bad this specimen can get. Law and Order, SVU. Dun dun. In the world of tabletop RPGs, actions that make other players out of character miserable are considered especially heinous. At one local game shop, a newcomer ruined one group's gaming experience for months. These are their stories. Bum bum. It's too bad my voice can't go that deep. I took a good run at it, whatever. I recently said in my first Fat Bottom Beard post that I'm big on transparency and honesty, even if this makes me look, as user That Green Bear from Unfortunate fame put it, like a slaughter-bound, rabies-filled lamb. What? Hashtag truth facts. Hashtag truth hurts. Hashtag oof of truth. Hashtag please don't old yell at me. Hashtag I swear I got better. Hashtag not like the old man in the Bring Out Your Dead scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Hashtag he just got dead. What is happening right now? I would love to comment on anything that was just said, but I think it kind of flew over my head. Did I get whooshed just now? What am I supposed to, how am I supposed to respond? Okay, we're just gonna move past it. That's what we're gonna do. Roll with the punches. There's my transparency and honesty for you. One thing about maintaining the spirit of honesty is saying that my memory is, what's the clinical term for it? Oh, yes. Shit. You see, my wife has an eidetic auditory memory, whereas I'm on par with Dory. She could tell you the specials that a restaurant had from a date 3 nights ago. I can't even remember if I ate breakfast. Oh, bless the wives, dude. Always saving my bacon. Even last night, she's like, hey, make sure you get my episode up. And then I woke up in the morning and she's like, you didn't put the episode up at all. I'm like, okay. I tie a string around my finger so I can remember. So yes, there is a new video on Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. I guess it'll be yesterday if you're watching this now. Go over there, show wifey some loves. Lord knows she deserves it for shoring up my weaknesses all the time. So OP's wife can also quote every single word that I said during any argument that we've ever had. And I just stand there with a bewildered look of, well, that isn't fair. On my big stupid face. Oh, it's so relatable, man. Wifey brings up stuff from 5-6 years ago. She's like, you remember this? I'm like, yeah, you'll never let me forget. But we have a good time though. It's all in good fun. I'm pretty sure. Have you ever had to defend against a 5-year-ago version of yourself? We are one and the same, OP. I feel a kinship forming here. You should try it sometime. It's a real hoot. I also talked about it during my 10K subscribers special, just like what a piece of dirt I was, how badly I treated her at the beginning of the relationship. For some reason, she stuck it out and, yeah, made me into a better person. Although I did want to change, is the magic there. All I will really say on that is that I am so grateful that she's big on second chances. Whew. Why is her memory important to this story? Well, because I would come home from sessions and tell her what happened, and she remembers more about the conversations that she wasn't there for than the people who were there. I know this for a fact because when they hear her recollections, they say, oh yeah, I remember that. This is the reason that I record every D&D session that I have online and in person if I had them in person anymore. I tell myself that it's so I can make some content with it someday, but it's never gonna happen. Really, it's just a handy reference for everybody to remember what it was that happened. So, I haven't just been getting help from her, though. Since the last episode I wrote for Star Wars Shenanigans Saga, I got most of the rest of the group involved too. Yeah, and I seen them down in the comments. Hello to you, friends! Hal and I believe Mac was down there as well. So, official hellos. I don't know if I commented back. I've been really bad about it lately, but I do read all the comments. I 100% assure you. I would say most, because I would rather attempt a home vasectomy reversal with a rusty screwdriver and a YouTube tutorial than ever talk to Game Master or Elroy again. Game Master, who you may recall, considers Neverland Ranch to be goals. So he's in jail and I am not visiting him. Well, there's a bit of foreshadowing in that. I gotta be grateful for that, man. What's up with all these kitty-loving beards? I don't like it none too much. Nothing gets the impotent rage flowing faster. Do people in jail know what he did? I hope he gets shanked in the chow line. Elroy, on the other hand, could catch fire and I would hide my water bottle because I might get thirsty later. Yeah, standing next to the fire watching it burn, that makes a man thirsty indeed. Anyways, the point that I was building up to before wandering off the path like Mr. Magoo is that quotes, while not 100% word for word, essentially just capture the essence of what the other person said.
Oh, Irish pirate, you've done it again.
Is that Mr. Magoo? Something tells me it's close. So yeah, the others are just helping to make sure that I'm getting the little details right. With all that said, we'll get into the cast. Well, it's good to know that we have a group of people writing this story eventually, so we can confirm the details and whatnot. Hopefully, it don't make things too muddled, but I guess we'll see. OP, that's me. 30-year-old at the time, gaming nerd, working at a non-profit counseling center and adapting to married life. It's good. It's real nice. I like it a lot. I don't understand the memes that are like, oh, I don't like my wife. Ugh. Boomer memes is what they are. Since the last episode, I'd celebrated a birthday as well as the birth of a newborn daughter, who would later go on to say things that would make Wednesday Addams go, girl, are you okay? Examples. Her, Daddy, look, that tree's pretty. OP, looking at a blackened tree that must have ent-walked its way out of Sleepy Hollow, only to rot away from the inside once it got here. Baby, that tree is dead. Her, giving me an almost offended look of indignation. Dead things can be pretty too. She was 5. Don't kids say the darndest things. That's honestly one of the things that I love the most about having kids is you get to see the world through their eyes. I just walk around outside, but my 3-year-old is like, Daddy, look at the clouds. And I'm like, you're right. There are clouds up there. How long has it been since I just sat back and looked at some freaking clouds? I love kids, man. Not in the way that GM does. Let's
Where you going, kids? Hey, I just want to talk to you.
let's be very clear on that. Not that it probably needed to be said. Anyways, we also got Mac, who is OP's best friend since 2nd grade. Yeah, he lived with his mom and loved anime, but he had good hygiene, and an absence of fedoras has kept him from fully falling into the category of neckbeard, at least as far as I'm concerned. He changes characters when a new idea strikes his fancy, and while not exactly a rules lawyer, he certainly has an interest in keeping things fair and balanced. Thanos, sans the whole genocide thing. He could be a Beard Light. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think most of the people that I tend to kick it with are. If you can't talk about nerd stuff, then really we don't have that much to say to each other. What, do you gotta talk about cars? Yeah, I have one. Okay, that's it. What else do you want me to say? We also got Chain Smoker, friendly neighborhood murder hobo. Best friend since high school with both Peacekeeper and the Philip Morris Company. He should invest, although I don't know if he'll stick around long enough to collect if he's really chain smoking like that. His voice sounded like he gargled with gravel and broken glass every morning, and if he ever opened his own fragrance line, it would be Eau du Ashtray. Game-wise, if it didn't involve combat, then it didn't hold his interest for very long. At least he ain't got that bourgeois beard fragrance. What was that, Eau Despondency or something like that? I guess he is a bit despondent if it isn't involving combat. But yeah, to each their own. I guess if everybody else is cool with it, then I shouldn't have too much to say. Peacekeeper is Chainsmoker's best friend forever, and one of the nicest, most patient people that I've ever met. Hanging out with this guy would make you look in the mirror afterwards and ask yourself, why are you such an asshole? I didn't even have to hang out with him. This is just part of my morning routine at this point. Hal is socially awkward, 20-ish years old, who had also celebrated a birthday since the last episode. He was still learning how to people and how to play. If social interactions were a car, he would have wrapped it around a tree the first time he played with us, but we were able to rebuild him. Better, faster, stronger. Oh, I should have made the joke. OP makes it right after. We made him faster, stronger, or capable of playing nice with others. And what else could you really ask for? GM, not the GM that we deserved, but I guess he was the GM that we settled for. Nothing less than a scumbag, as we would later find out. This dude liked him young. Oh, God. Makes me fucking sends chills up my spine, dude. I hate it. He thought starving the party for XP would build character. That's the opposite of what builds character, friend. And he had a very hands-off policy when it came to party conflict. If being a piece of crap was an Olympic sport, then this gem of a human being would be silver medal at worst. At least behind the eponymous Unfortunookie. Oh, don't forget Naruto headband. GM just got knocked down to bronze. Although, Unfortunookie and Naruto headband never came at kids. So, I'm gonna give GM the gold, for sure. Let him and Linkbeard fight it out. I hope they're cellmates. They kill each other. Last time I said I had just found out prior to writing the story that he had been up to some shady business with minors. Well, 5 minutes ago, as I was editing this, I found out via Mac that he is sitting in a jail cell right now on a $5 million secure bond facing 33 charges of indecent liberties with a minor. Jesus. One of those charges may or may okay, no, it's definitely for stuff with his own daughter and possibly his granddaughter. Oh, God, we're not even into the story yet. Oh, I feel dirty. I'm gonna go have a shower right now. Okay, I'm back from the shower. I wasn't able to wash the filth away. Oh, God. What a deplorable human being. He's worse than Linkbeard. I 100% guarantee. So, yeah, have fun tossing that one around the old brain pan. God knows I do. Dry heave. Oh, God, dude. If only there was a way to unsee, to unknow. I would eternal sunshine of the spotless mind this right out of my freaking head right now. Ugh. How could anybody be worse? How? Elroy's worse than this guy? I highly doubt it. Introducing also Scotty, a good friend of mine from college that had just moved to the area. So proud of his Scottish heritage, you would think that he had just taken the Haggis boat to Ellis Island. It was a top-notch friend that would give you the shirt off his back, but not his kilt, because no one wants an indecent exposure charge on their record, don't you know? Standard issue gentle giant. His temper had a long fuse, but once it runs out, "Ach, laddie, you best run for the hills for he doons a pint and slaps your wee ass back to Edinburgh and back." That's terrible. Elroy, I try my best not to categorize people before I get a chance to know them, but this dude made it 2 steps past our introduction before sauntering his way over to the assholes only zone like he owned the place. The words I find most apt to describe him can't even be used in polite society. To this day, I can sum up my feelings for him in 1 finger. Hint, it's not my thumb. It's your ring finger, bro. You want to marry him. If you like him so much, why don't you marry him?
All right, then. I will.
Oh, God. I guess I'll find out how he's worse than GM, if he is. GM just kept his activities hidden better, I guess, but he's definitely the worst of these two, at least out of the gate. I don't know how Elroy's gonna top that one unless he killed somebody in cold blood. As for the characters that these people play, well, they're not appearing in this installment. In future chapters, I'll just tack them under their respective players for the sake of simplicity. I do want to note a couple of things here, though. What is Chafari Sabson? Well, it's the full name of our misanthropic medical man, Faris. Shith's names are broken into 3 parts, separated by apostrophes. It goes family name, given name, and then clan, profession, or second family name. So where does Faris come from? Using a Chiss's full name in conversation would be exhausting, so they're often referred to by a core name, which consists of the last letters of their family name, the full given name, and the first letters of the third name. Hence, Chafaris Abson becomes Faris. Did I call him Ferris in the other episode? I don't know. Now it sounds better to go Faris. Now, as to Mac's generic character from part 1, yeah, that's a fair assessment. Goatley was a great value brand character. The reason was that Peacekeeper and Chainsmoker were also new to tabletop RPGs when they started, and Mac didn't want to play someone that would outshine them. He wanted to give them an open platform to take the stage. The end result was having a character that was a "sir, yes, sir" type that didn't really want to lead the others, and a pair of novices that didn't know how to lead. Hence why nobody wanted to take the reins. At least until OP showed up. But that is good to know, at least I know that Mac is a team player. Letting other people shine is always something that I worry about with my tabletops, especially the one in the Discord. I'm like, did I step on anybody's toes? Because I know I can be kind of a boisterous personality, but I too want everybody to get a chance to shine. So, could Mac have made the character more interesting than a phone book? Absolutely. But he thought that being generic would be the right thing to do for the other players. It was the bad result of a good intention. Like when a priest marries a couple of teenagers behind their parents' back. Priests shouldn't marry teenagers. Oh, you mean the teenagers are getting married? Okay, I'm tracking. And then the priest gives one some roofies to knock herself out so everybody thinks she's dead, but doesn't tell her new husband, so he ends up popping some cyanide over her corpse, leaving her to wake up next to him and stab herself out of grief. Yeah, I'm cultured. I know exactly what play you're referencing. I love Macbeth too. You shouldn't say Macbeth. This channel is kind of a performance thing, so maybe saying Macbeth is bad. I said it 3 times. I'm going to stop now. Let's get into the story! It had been a few months or so since Hal had joined the party with all the grace of a greased-up pole dancer after 2 hits of acid and a bout of vertigo. With the fresh addition of Scotty, our group was capable of handling most missions with ease. By this point, we were working for the Rebel Alliance, and they sent us on whatever odd jobs the GM could find the pre-made modules for. Our little group lived in harmony, and then everything changed when Elroy joined. I worked at the counseling center down the street from the game store, so I was usually the second person to arrive after the game master himself. One night, I made my way to our usual table and I saw a new person sitting with GM. Neither tall nor short, fat nor thin, fair nor grotesque. He literally could not look less memorable appearance-wise if I'd been sipping a Cosby Colada upon meeting him. Cosby Colada! Oh yeah, I like Jello pudding, but I'm gonna get the real sweet stuff tonight. I remember that he had greasy, brownish blonde hair and a patchy swath of facial hair, but apart from that, he could basically blend into a crowd of one. He was hunched over a character sheet, while GM gave a predatorial leer at the back of his head. Okay, really, I made that last part up. I don't remember what GM was really doing. Probably looking at some stuff on his phone that would make the FBI a tidbit miffed. Jesus Christ, dude. I presume that nobody knew about this at the time because he hasn't been shot in the face yet, right? That would be my first move. The next time we met, I would bring a gun. Whew. I took my place at the table, and the slimy scalp newcomer sat up, revealing a shirt that proclaimed in bold pink letters that he was a Brody for life. Oh, bronies, it's been a while. Welcome back to the fold. I'm not one to judge people for their choice of entertainment, mind you. To clarify, I think the Super Mario Bros. 93 movie was so bad that it looped back around to being good. Well, you're wrong on that, but I forgives you. That type of cinematic taste is usually mock-worthy, so if I should die before I wake, I pray you wipe my Netflix slate. At least you weren't watching Cuties like the GM was. Oh, don't go there. I'm like, I wish OP wouldn't bring it up, and then I keep looping back to it too. So hopefully from this point on, we could just let it drop. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm sorry, Lord. Where was I? Oh, yes. Elroy, the brony. This story takes place before I even knew about bronies, so I was confused at the very least. Elroy. Hey, man. OP. Hi. Elroy. Are you in this campaign? Internal sarcasm. No! I came over to tip an invisible fedora to the slick-haired fair milord I spotted from across the crowded store. Oh, be still, my heart. But instead, OP just says, yeah. GM. This is the guy that plays Ferris. Elroy with a smug, rat-faced grin. Oh, GM said that you're the group's current leader. The word current should have been a tip-off, but I was tired from work and hyper-focused on decrypting the meaning of that weird-ass shirt. OP? Kinda? I just make strongly worded suggestions. Here lately, Nala's been calling more shots than me, but we don't really have a leader. And I'm going to assume Nala is Scotty's character since we missed the character descriptions for this episode. Elroy snorts. You do now. Oh, God. Oh, joyous day. We humble plebs have been in want of a strong, capable leader. Hal needs a father figure, and the rest of us be naught but placeholders, unworthy of the throne. But how best to express my exuberance? Yeah, neat. This dude really did show up and he's like, I'm taking over. How about you pump the brakes a little bit, Sparky? Like, I don't know how you decided to go through with the game even after meeting this guy. It's really easy to walk away from a campaign. At least for me. No D&D is better than bad D&D. I got better stuff to do with my time than fight about who's steering the ship with a neckbeard. I tried my best to convey how delighted I was to be met with snide presumption before I even had a chance to sit down. Alas, I think he detected the fact that I was as full of shit as the clogged toilet at an all-you-can-eat burrito barn. Somebody didn't waffle stomp it down. There's a term for bringing things up in conversation for the sole purpose of pissing an outsider off, but I can't remember it. Or maybe there isn't one, and there just should be. Probably something German. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Anyone? No? Okay, then. Are we referring to Schadenfreude? That's what this whole channel's built on. I love it! Well, this was that. Elroy turned to ask GM a question that was meant entirely for me. Elroy to GM,
How do we determine which force powers I have?
oh God, if I didn't quit before. No. Maybe it really wasn't meant for you, you might say. Maybe he was genuinely asking. Well, he had 2 rule books in front of him with entire chapters dedicated to the character making process. So it was either his smug way of saying,
I use the force and you can't.
or Elroy is the sort of person to search Google for Facebook as his primary means of navigating to Isla de Zuckerberg.
Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse.
That is to say, very roundabout, I do suppose. You'll get there, but indeed, what is the point? OP? Wait, what? Elroy with a greasy grin.
You can't tell anyone about this when we start. That would be metagaming.
Yeah. Telling people would be metagaming. Having the powers is definitely not metagaming. I'm a level 1 nobody with mastery of the Force. Oh my God, I want to die already. I turned to GM with a touch of disbelief and irritation coloring my tone. OP, you told the rest of us that we couldn't play Force-sensitive characters. GM,
Well, the rules in the rulebook weren't very clear, and I was still learning the basics of this system. Force and Destiny just came out, though. That book explains things a bit better. Elroy has a copy, so...
OP, does the store have any? Elroy smugly.
I just bought the last one.
Would you be so kind as to share with the class? Of course he won't. Around this time, Mac showed up to the table, while his mom found her way to the couch in the background, crochet needles in hand, and a Mary Poppins-esque bag of yarn at her feet. I filled him in on the situation. He looked about as annoyed as I felt. Mac's mom really drove him to the D&D session and chilled out there the whole time. God, I love that. I mean, it's sort of sad when you think about it too much. But on the surface, like, props to the mom supporting what your kid loves to do, even if it isn't something that's all that constructive in the grand scheme of things. Mac, so what? He just said he wanted to be a Jedi and you let him? Elroy scoffed with the indignation of a Karen having her expired coupons rejected. Elroy,
No, I rolled for it on a D100, and this campaign takes place during the Galactic Civil War, so actually, I can't be a Jedi because they're all dead.
OP, yeah, we know the timeline. We've been playing this campaign for months, and the Jedi aren't all dead. Elroy,
Yes, they are.
OP, tell that to Yoda. Yeah, but he's like one of the last, right? He only made it because he's chilling in a swamp on Dagobah. Elroy just rolls his eyes.
Well, he doesn't count. He was the only one.
Mac, we never got a clear idea of what year this is, so Obi-Wan could still be alive too. Elroy,
Okay, but other than them,
OP, canon. Elroy,
he was just a Padawan.
Mac, Ahsoka. Elroy,
She was cast out.
Mac, there are others in the comics and the novels. Elroy,
Can you name them?
Mac, No, but I can go on Wikipedia, and Elroy scoffs.
Wikipedia? A real fan would know without having to look it up.
How about Beldorian, who is like a Hutt Jedi that I found out about when I was researching for the last thumbnail? Oh boy, this Star Wars stuff gets me excited. He couldn't see that curveball coming, I'll tell you that. But indeed, it was at this time that I noticed something about Elroy's face. It had a remarkably punchable quality to it. But since I prefer sarcasm to violence, I stayed true to my nature. This guy could get away with any crime. The cops would be like, what do you look like? I don't know, super generic and ultra punchable. That's all I know. And he's wearing a t-shirt that says something about Brody's, whatever the hell that is. OP turns to Mac. Whoa, looks like we're just fake fans, man. Mac. Yeah, maybe we should just quit and go home. GM.
Oh, come on. We're all friends here.
We were not. Yep, that's been made exceedingly obvious. There's a reason that this dude does not have another group that he's involved with. He's probably been kicked out of so many groups before, and I can only hope that this is another one of them's, but I'm not gonna let him leave without a little bit of karmic justice. Don't let the door hit you in the ass and all that. Elroy backpedals a bit and says,
Yeah, don't take it so personally. It's just science fiction.
No, you. I'd like to say that I do avoid pointless arguments, but I would be setting myself up for a pants on fire situation. I have a bad habit of attacking trolls by analyzing them and sharing my observations and theories for all to see, I would say. I got into it with a GTA hacker one time. Scotty and I were minding our own business, stealing supplies for our thriving meth lab, when this dude started terrorizing everyone on the server. I suggested that he had to use modding tools because he felt powerless in real life, and he needed godlike immunity online to escape the crushing feelings of real-world worthlessness. His well-reasoned and articulate rebuttal of my theory came in the form of troll.
Fuck you!
OP, be honest, which one of your parents do you think is more disappointed in the way that you turned out? Troll drops a tank on me. OP, so your dad then? And then the troll rage quits. Oh, that is the best kind of savagery. Scotty, Jesus Christ, dude, aren't you supposed to use that skill set to help people? Well, I usually do. If you're having a rough time and see me on Discord, hit me up. I'd be happy to let you vent and talk to you for a little while, but that courtesy is not extended to trolls and bullies, though. I have an ironclad policy of non-engagement. If a hacker hops on the server or something, I'd switch my server. I don't care. But your way is definitely a bit more proactive and a hell of a lot more savage, so props. I love that. Anyways, back to the story and my pointless argument. OP, it's a space fantasy, not sci-fi. Ah, boy. Elroy.
No, it's definitely sci-fi.
I leaned back in my chair and changed into my therapist voice. Slow, calm, even, and in this case, maybe just a little bit condescending. Sue me, I was irritated. OP, oh? How so? Elroy,
It has robots and stuff. That's sci-fi.
OP, D&D has Warforged, sentient mechanical beings. That doesn't make it sci-fi. Elroy,
Robots run on electronics and stuff. They're engineered. Warforged have souls and are powered by magic.
OP, magic is really just a science that we don't understand yet. Elroy,
What? Says who?
OP, Arthur C. Clarke, famous sci-fi author. Elroy,
GM, is this sci-fi or fantasy campaign?
Yes, both. Either or. Who cares? Sit down. Stop asking me weird questions. GM was, at this point, keenly interested in the dirt under his fingernails or something in a book. I don't remember what he was doing, but I know what he wasn't doing, and that was refereeing. He kind of gave a non-committal GM.
It's whatever kind of campaign the party makes it.
Elroy.
It's sci-fi. Star Wars is sci-fi. Everybody knows that.
OP. A couple of thousand years ago, everybody knew that the world was flat. But that doesn't make that true either. That's right, I said it. Come at me, flat earthers. I don't think they have anything to come at you with. Ad hominem? Okay, yeah. That's all I've ever seen from the flat earth community. You're dumb if you don't believe this. Okay? I'd rather be dumb to you than dumb to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about Elroy's past. I still don't. But he struck me as an only child that was accustomed to being given his way. He seemed annoyed that someone dared to question him. Maybe he was homeschooled. Perhaps he was hatched in a lab. He scoffed at my argument and sarcastically asked, Elroy,
okay then, what makes it fantasy?
OP, it's about epic heroes, magic powers, and fantastical creatures. A true sci-fi story would pay much more attention to the science. Star Wars doesn't ever really explain the science behind their technology. And then there's the Force. Yeah, midichlorians, bro. We retconned the hell out of that one. Elroy, yeah.
What's they explained through science? It's not magic. It's the result of midichlorians.
Well, why do I feel so terrible that I know that? OP? Yeah, but how does that even work? If they're living creatures, what do they consume to stay alive? How do they interact with a person's blood cells? Are they prone to any kind of diseases? Can a person lose the force by getting sick? How does a midichlorian count affect the strength of a person's force powers? Elroy,
you don't need to know how science works for it to be science.
OP, well, the same thing can be said about magic. Saying, the force works because of midichlorians is just like saying, because magic, that's why. That's what makes Star Wars a space fantasy. It doesn't rely on science. It relies on the mythical, mystical, and supernatural. Stuff like space wizards with magic swords. Well, I had no opinion on this previously, but you talked me around, OP. Really, if I had to give it a label, I'd say it's a pretty campy space opera. Ignore all the bells and whistles. It's an opera at its core. Elroy scoffs.
And what makes you such an expert?
Mac, he's got a degree in creative writing. That's right. I called it a useless degree before, but it gave me an edge in a meaningless argument. Hey, winning! It also helped me to put this story into words. Sarcastic words, colorful words, and sometimes hateful words. But you're reading or listening to them, and we are a pretty good ways into this post, so I must be doing something right. Yes, your writing is definitely on par. My narration, I don't want to toot my own horn, that's fine. I'm here too, I'm but a humble vessel. Elroy,
whatever.
And then he smugly says,
I guess I'll just play my character like a space wizard then.
Mac to GM, so when do the rest of us get to roll? GM,
for what?
Mac, to see if we're force sensitive. Elroy,
you have to roll for that when you make your character. You can't just discover that you have powers later on in life.
Actually, that's exactly how most people discover it. Unless you like what, Matilda, that's the only one that discovered it when she's still a child, right? Maybe Jack from The Incredibles? There's probably a bunch more, but I would say most people that have a superpower discovered it at a later point in their lives. Oh yeah, Superman. Of course. But yeah, my point being that Elroy's dumb. OP, why can't you discover it later in life? That's exactly what Luke did. Mac and Anakin, OP, and Ezra, GM.
Well, that is true.
Mac getting his percentile die out. Great. What do we need to roll? Elroy.
If their characters don't know that they have powers yet, wouldn't that mean it's less likely that they're sensitive? Like, I rolled for mine when I made the character, so it's like I was strong enough to know early on. They shouldn't have the same chance of being force sensitive since they don't know that they have powers yet.
Bro, I'm so out of this game already. How could you possibly continue after this? And GM is letting this dude drive the ship? What the actual hell is happening? No, I'm not playing. I'm going home. But OP doesn't follow my ironclad contract of non-engagement. Instead, he tries to argue his case and says, no way. We should have just as much of a chance as you did. Mac to GM in a tone that said, hello, do you hear me? What do we need to roll? GM.
I made Elroy roll above a 75.
Elroy.
But if you think about it, you're still learning the rules for how the Force works. How hard is it gonna be if you have a whole party full of people that have different powers?
Yeah, we should just have this one guy that has all the powers. This is main character syndrome so hard. Just walk away now. It's gonna save you a lot of heartache. But OP does not. The GM agrees with Elroy for some reason, saying,
True.
By this point, GM could probably tell that Mac and I were getting irritated. I was making no effort to try and conceal it. GM,
how about this? Everyone else has a 10% chance, but if they don't succeed, I'll give them 25 experience.
25 experience was about as much as we would normally get over the span of 5 weeks. Oh, God. Since GM thought the rulebook's recommended amount was about 3 times too much. Even if he gave us 50, it would not balance out the power difference, but I was just too annoyed to argue. We rolled, we failed. Elroy looked happier than a hemp enthusiast boarding a flight to Amsterdam. Bro, this is a mess already. It's time to leave. Exit, stage left. Chainsmoker showed up eventually, a thick aura of nicotine preceding his arrival. He didn't even care about the Force and just wanted the experience. Like a G. Whatever, keep your stupid Force powers. I decided to go get something to eat while we waited for the others, partly because I usually didn't eat lunch on game days, but mostly because I needed to put some distance between myself and Elroy before I completely lost my shit like a septic truck driver that forgot where he parked. That's a lot of shit. I was joined by unexpected company while I waited in line. Hal. Hey, OP. OP. Sup, Hal? When did you get here? Hal.
Just a few minutes ago. Peacekeeper picked me up from work. I can't drive right now.
OP. Drinking during the day. Shame on you. Hal.
No, it's nothing.
I would later find out that it was, in fact, something. OP. Well, I'm here if you need to talk. I do it for a living. Hal.
I appreciate it, but no.
Hal is being slippery. The plot thickens. Also, I think it's nice of OP to offer free therapy to people, but charge them. If you're good at something, never do it for free. Them's just the rules of the road. The lady at the register took my order. I offered to get something for Hal. He didn't want anything. My dumbass was so irritated with Elroy that I wasn't picking up on the clues that would slap me in the face later on. Hal said he wasn't hungry. He just needed a break from the new guy. Hal could now read people. He was learning. So if the overwhelming majority are not happy with this setup, why don't they just abandon the table? I guess because they need the GM. But if they all abandon the table, then the GM will do what it takes to get them back, which means kicking out Elroy. That should have been the true master plan. What kind of master plan is grin and bear it? No, I'm not doing any of that. Anyways, we went back to the game store to settle in for what looked like it was gonna be a very long night. Mac was in line to get chips, and Peacekeeper was watching some gaming video that Chainsmoker had pulled up on his phone. Scotty had also arrived at some point during my trek to and from the Chinese restaurant. He pulled out his laptop and character sheets, and he was scrolling through what looked like the PDF of a rulebook. Elroy sat next to him with an expression of someone adapting to a lemon-only diet. OP, hey Scotty, what's up? Scotty,
Not much, brother. I'm trying to see how my new force powers work.
got him, coach. Elroy's scowl made sense now. Pissant was not the only space wizard at the table. And I suppose we are ending this tale with a parody song, which is pretty good. I really appreciate that the parodies is included as such. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi. And this is Tommy James and the Shondells, I Think We're Alone Now, which I'll probably have to listen to because I'm not familiar with it. So, warning in advance. Elroy's a tool. Didn't take long for me to see it. He grumbles not cool. When Mac and I pull our dice out, rolling out for powers like him. Even though the odds we have are slim. Hoping one of us rolls high enough, and when I get back with my dinner, I can see we've got a winner, and I learn the prick's not alone now. Scotty's dice came up with the 97, and poor Elroy moans now. His pained expression makes me feel like I'm in heaven. Yeah, that's kind of a bop, man. Late 1960s, early 1970s. Don't sleep on that music, all right? It wasn't all dad rock coming out around that time. We got Tommy James and the Shondells. I would try and remember that, but the name's a little bit unwieldy, so I make no promises. But I do thank you for sharing, Irish Pirate. And with that, thank you for joining me again. I know there really wasn't a whole lot that happened this time event-wise, but yeah, this was my introduction to Elroy. This is the first impression that he left. This was how he, a real-life person with the autonomy to breathe unassisted and walk around like regular people, chose to conduct himself around complete strangers. Like I said, this is why he didn't have a group already. Trust me when I say that it was all downhill from here. I have to hope beyond hope that him and Scotty get into it, and Scotty just like mollywallops him through the back of the game store or whatever. That would be beautiful. As for Hal, I don't really want to spoil anything, but things get pretty dark for him before they get better. I didn't find out what was going on until a couple of weeks after meeting Elroy, so I'll hold off until we get to that point of the timeline. Until next time, I hope the universe doesn't kick you in the shins or give you a wedgie. January, February on YouTube is always kind of a kick in the shins. Ad rates drop through the floor. We're just kind of scraping by, but at least we got some good stories to do it with, you know? As I made very clear during the story, I would not have put up with any of this at all ever. I would have walked away from the game group at this point. They're like, look, we don't vibe. I only want to play with people that I trust 100%. No campaign is much better than bad campaign. And you can mark my words on that. You think I don't have like a ton of other stuff that I could be doing instead of sitting here arguing about space wizards? We could chat about space wizards if we're on the same side, but if you're really adamant on having an argument with me, it's not going to happen. I'll just say, you know what? You're right, bro. I don't actually care that much. You think whatever you need to think in your tiny little pea brain. But OP's got a different approach. And I do like the people that push back on beards. Big props, big props. I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope that you guys will like, comment, and or subscribe as well. If you did, maybe share the video around. It's definitely heating up around here. I'm super interested to see what happens with Elroy. Also, GM and his hidden proclivities. Good God, I hope he bites a bullet for that one. Although he is in prison, so more likely shanked in the shower. I'm good either way. I hope that he gets punished harshly. But yeah, I also wanted to say we also got a bunch of links in the description, you know, podcasts. I plugged those at the beginning. But playlists, if you're looking for a different flavor from the channel, we also got all kinds of plugs. Teespring, if you're trying to rock the merch. Mr. and Mrs. ReddX, that's mine and my wife's channel. I think I plugged that as well. Ooh, we've also got my Amazon affiliate link, which currently goes to my microphone. But if you click on through, buy anything else on Amazon, I get like a little kickback from them, which is quite a helpful thing. Additionally, we've got my Twitter, Discord, Facebook, you know, all that good stuff, the social medias, as well as my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. And I would like to thank them as I do every episode. So thank you, Jerry Much, Robert Waits, Camille, Sarah, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, Conrad Ingy. Hello, Mr. ReddX, sir. I'm still in the secure containment unit at ReddX Industries. I have 2 negative tests, but they won't let me leave. Welcome to the new normal. I'm sorry. This is how it has to be. Captain Cloud, Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Sarah Wano Ash, Cinnamon Susie, For Old Lang Syne, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, Ayurari, Gnup, Yajir, Do you fit it up, Tib Tat. I know it's the most different Jerry spelling backwards, but isn't it more fun to say it or try say it? We also got Jari the Pirate, Arr. Silent Revolver, the original Jerry, Jerish Kitsune, Matthew Simmons, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, a jury of jubilantly juggling Jerry. Oh God, what are you doing to me? And a Justy Jargonia Jerry, Alunia, Althea, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric. Aurora, Wildheart, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy. Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blame Miss Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, Blue Dubs, Commander J-Tag, I'm losing it already. Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Dr. Larks, Welcome to the Fold, Emergent Jewel, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Studio, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, have a minty New Year's, Jerry's. That's right, super fresh, ultra fresh. I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry. All you other Slim Jerrys are just imitating. We don't have any other Slim Jerrys. Irish Pirate, top of the morning to ya. And to you, friends. Itchy Nuts, just scratching, bro. A pimp named J. Crisp, yes, you have to say the whole thing. J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerismus Barbatus Cervicus. That's like Jerry with a barbed cervix. My Latin is poor. Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Nice, Jerry Evil, Jerry the small Jerry than the other Jerrys, Jerry the outlaw mother trucker, honk honk. Jerry was a race car driver, but I raced him in a boosted 87 Supra and I blew a head gasket. He tried to drive so goddamn fast, that's the point. Jerry, and I'm here to plow your snow and also plow your mom. Have at it, I suppose. John Hero, John Jerry Jingleheimer Schmidt. Oh my God, that's my name too. I don't believe it. Simbufa, Judge Jerry, I am the beard. It's a Judge Dredd reference, isn't it? Nice. KJW Kajow, Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, leader of the Thunder Jerrys, Milady Dix. We also got Jackets Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mr. Jerry 13. He dropped the attic door key in his IHOP pancakes while tripping some one-legged server. Gonna have to wait a little while. Mr. Carrot 797, Mikola Demikiev, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, Origami Jerry Steve. Congrats on the marriage. Patron saint of chicken nuggies, Saint Jerry Ramen. Phantom of the Pines, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Professor Tom Moriarty, Ramtide Lacrimates, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Saucy Octopus, Silo Imp, Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Broomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, The One True Fusky, Tom, but it's the Jerry on the east side that counts, Treeberg, Viking Jerry. We changed the lock on the attic and found Marble Jerry chewed through the asbestos and escaped. Be safe, everyone. Will Mags, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind, Goose says honk, Naga Viper, Jerry the Cyborg, Saint's Blessing,
2 inches of real alpha male.
I'm scared. A normal Jerry. Asbestos, please tell me you're not gonna fight the Human Torch, Marble Jerry. Because it's fire retardant. Hunter of Jerry's, Devourer of all things tasty, it is Tom, because Tom and Jerry never get along. Admiral T, Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Babsy Goon, Banished Knight, Barbushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine, Horseradish, Cake Jerry, that's the original different Jerry. California Jerry Girl, hooray! Chevron 7 Lock, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Corporal Admiral Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Crib Titties, Cuban Jerry, Define Jerry, Dopamine Dangerous, so dangerous because we're gonna OD, son. Electrical Fanatic, Ghost of Alpha, Heeknot, HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry. There's so many Jerrys, Holy Berry. Or is it Halle Berry Jerry? What's going on? Hydra Jerry, Jeffrey, my name's Jeffrey, Geralt of Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's Werby Apocalypse, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on. That's all I want, and I waited for so long. Jerry the Rivera, you check out that mustache. Jerry Bean, yum! Jerry Roxas, yay! Jerry's STI got a new engine. Congrats! Jerry role-playing game. Judge, Jerry and Executioner, Kid Marvelous, son of Dude Perfect, King Tom, Kitzikin, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft,
Machia, cha-cha-cha-chia, CD.
Maybe next time. Midnight Sun, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, One Leg Jerry, working at IHOP, Origami Cam, QWQ, Ghosty Raptor Art, she's my Jerry Pie. Go drink a Mountain Dew with a big surprise. Sheep Steve. Okay, Steve. Smitty Warben, Jagerman Jensen, Snary the Snom Jerry, if you didn't know, Spoony the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry, tons are relevant all year round. Steampunk Kelly, the Gaslighting Terry, your keys are right there in the peanut butter. I don't know why you put them there. I was making a sandwich. I don't know what's going on anymore. The Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not. To Infinite Jerry and beyond, definitely. Tuna Fish Jerry, is some fishy going on. Yet another imaginative iteration of Jerry. Tom promised Jerry swears. Oh, no, bad Jerry. Tom, be a good boy, don't swear. It's just facts. So he says, go ahead and look by everybody in the ReddX video. Got it? Cool. Also, thank you to my $1 patrons. God, I'm just loving the Patreon, man. I've only been reading it like every couple of days, and it's always fresh. A bunch of new name changes, and I really do appreciate you guys keeping it interesting for me. I don't know who's who anymore, but that doesn't really matter. I just appreciate you. Send me a message and tell me who you are if you really want me to know. Some of them I can connect because of the email addresses. Some of the people we haven't really talked before, but I'd be open to talking. If you want to talk to me, I send you a message every month. So just say hello. I'd appreciate it. Obviously, I do hope some other people will consider signing up on the Patreon, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. Big brain time. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, friends, bye-bye.